Hey.
Oh, hey. Now,
All right. So welcome to Tech Thursday. Today we're going to be going over how to manage your database and why that is so important and how you can get that all into. So you know what? Can we stop really quick? I'm going to move my screen to in front of. Okay, so again, welcome to Tech Thursday. We're going to be going over how to manage your database. So we're going to start off at agent.kdev.com, and this is going to be basically your agent site to log in. So this is going to be what you use most often. And if you don't know your username and password, make sure to reach out to your ASC of your office. They can definitely get that to you. More than likely, you created it with Scott Leroy Marketing. I know in our office, that's how you create your username and password. If not, definitely reach out to your ASC. And so we're going to sign in. And so I'm just going to kind of give a little overview on where to find contacts first, because of some of us might be pretty new to Command and not know exactly, what's in this platform. So one thing that I really like is, yes, you can scroll over and it'll tell you what each tab is. But if you do click this red KDEV box, it will pop it out and give you all the tabs that are available. So today we're managing our database, so we're going to be spending the majority of our time in contacts. So I'm going to click on contacts. And I don't have very many contacts in here because I use this command solely for teaching purposes, but I just kind of want to give you an overview of what is here. So we've got our name, the last time we visited, the last time they were contacted, tags. You're able to, I only have 5 contacts, but if you had more than 5 contacts, you are able to show a certain amount. It defaults to 10, but you can also move it up to 50 depending on how many contacts you have. You can look at it in different views. I personally like the list view. You can customize columns, but we'll go a little bit more deeper into that after we create our contacts. So first, we're going to start off with creating just a single contact. I'm going to go up here to the corner to this blue button, add contact. And I am going to be adding in today the Twilight cast. So we're going to start off with Carlisle Cullen. So Carlisle Cullen. And so we've got this add relationship button. So I'm going to add relationship. So you can add a spouse or, a father, mother, son. There's a lot of different relationships that you can add. We're going to add the spouse. And what's really cool is you can either select a contact that's already been in Command or you can create one. So I'm going to create one and I'm going to choose Esme Colon, which is his wife. So we're going to do spouse and we're going to do Esme Cullen, and I'm going to add her. And so now what's really cool about that relationship tab is this is going to create Esme as her own contact as well as have that relationship as Carlisle Cullen's spouse. So what also happens is if I do reach out to Carlisle, it will reach out to Esme as well. So that's one really cool thing. So if you have a client who's maybe more elderly and they have an adult child that's really helping them with the process of the transaction that you're working with them, maybe you add the relationship of the adult child so that they're getting all the communication from the transaction as well as the actual buyer or seller. So I am going to put an email in. I'm going to put Carlisle at Twilight, if I can spell today, .com. Primary phone, I'm not going to enter that because I don't have a phone number for him, but one really cool thing about contacts is you don't need, all you need is their name. You don't need an email. You really don't need a phone number. Really all you need is a name. But obviously, one thing about contacts is Command does give them a health score. And so basically what the health score is saying is how much information you have put into that contact. So I think it's really good to try and at least have 50 to 60% of a health score with each contact, so you have most of that information. So we're going to skip over, enter a phone number. So their lead source, where did we get this lead source from? I'm going to say Brivity, because hey, they were a Brivity lead. That's how they came in. I am going to mark them as a lead, and then we can also add tags. So as you can see, there's a lot of tags in here. I'm going to mark him as a lead. And then you can also create a tag, which is really cool. So I could do Brivity and create that as a custom tag, just to let myself know, like, hey, this is where they came from, Brivity. And then also there's this additional add more information that you can click on, or you can click create. I'm going to click add more information. So you can add additional contact information. So since I don't have a phone number for Carlisle, I am going to do the preferred method of contact is email. You can also add additional emails and additional phones, but I will add a address, which I'm going to use the West Seattle office address. And then also one other thing that you're going to want to make sure you click in each contact is the same as mailing address, because of if you ever decide to run a campaign where you're sending out mailers, you're able to actually print mailers from your contacts, and you need to have that same as mailing address clicked for them to actually be able to print out that address. If it's not same as mailing address, just add another address, and then you'll want to make sure that that address has the same as mailing address. So if that maybe they have a business, but you want to, they're looking to sell that business, but you want to keep in contact with them on their home, at their home address, then that's kind of where you would do that at. All right, and then there's also about, so you can also add, like, let's say, so for Carlisle, he's a doctor, so maybe I might want to just add in Dr. Carlisle. He likes to, he likes to be called doctor, so that's just kind of maybe something that I keep in the back of my mind. Can also add birthdays, home anniversaries, and then if you wanted to add the spouse, or if I wanted to add Esme, and add her information, I could do that as well. Company name, job title, you're able to add that. And then there's some custom things that you're also able to do, is create custom fields. But we won't do that. I'll go into that a little bit later. We're just going to create this contact. So now it's going to be saving. It takes a little while to kind of come in. But as you see, we've got Carlisle Cullen, he's a lead, and Esme Cullen. And as you can see, Carlisle has those tags that I tagged him with. You can see his email, the date that I added him, and that I am the owner of that lead. Awesome. So now, does anybody have any questions on how to just upload one contact on its own? All right. So now we're going to go over how to import. So everybody has their own database. So maybe your database is all your contacts in your phone. Maybe your database is your email list in your email. So basically, how to upload all of them is going to be to import them into Command. We're going to choose this import button, and this is where you're going to get the CVS file. CSV, sorry, I always do that. CVS is it's a drugstore, but CSV file, you're able to actually download a pre-made CSV file from Command that works perfectly to back upload. So you're going to want to click this blue download button, or this blue download, to download the actual CSV file. And one thing that I just like to know is it is going to open up in Excel. If you don't have Excel on your computer, you can always do a Google Sheet and use Excel that way. So we'll download, and as you see, it's come down here. And then I am going to open this, the CSV file, and I will move it over here. So now we have this CSV file that has all of these tabs, and you're going to want to make sure no matter what, if you have that information or not, you don't want that information, do not delete any of those tabs, don't delete P, don't delete Q, just even though you don't have the other work phone. Don't delete it, just don't fill in that box, because of when you try to re-upload, it just does not quite work right because of it's looking for all of that information. Okay, so let's add in some of my contacts here. So first name, we're going to do Bella. We're not going to add in her middle name. Last name, Swan. I don't have her birthday. Don't have a primary phone number, work phone number. Let's see. Primary cell phone, no. So it's a little, sometimes it can be a little difficult to see because obviously, wow, that's interesting. Primary cell phone, primary mobile phone. Haven't seen cell versus mobile in a while.
Interesting. Yeah, me either.
Yeah. So we're still in phones right now. So we're going to go over and hopefully we can find our email because that's what I want to add in. Home phone, cell phone, mobile phone, personal email. There we go. So we're going to add bella@twilight.com. And now we're going to go back. And that's all the information right now that I have on Bella. So I'm going to go add in my next contact. So Edward. So it does take, a little bit of time for you to actually go in and sit down and add all of these in. So you're going to want to make sure that you have, a nice amount of time, or split it up and, come back and do it a couple times, so that you can get all of your contacts in. Oops, Edward, and his last name is Cullen. Then we're going to go over to email, and it's going to be Edward at Twilight.
I think another way you could use this would be if you have a bunch of contacts in another spreadsheet. So you're like downloading them from another database management system or from your email or from, I think you can download them even from like your Facebook or your phone, and then just like kind of copy and paste those columns so it matches this document that we're working on right now.
Yes. Good call, Kara. Yeah. So you can always, if you have it from a different, somewhere else, say you're maybe downloading it from Brivity or like Kara said, Facebook. I know that you can actually download contacts from your cell phone. I know that there's a way to do that as well. And so you can always just, copy first name, copy last name, and just put it into this spreadsheet. But this is the spreadsheet that you do want to use. So we're adding in Alice. Awesome. I'm going to go back. Can't forget Emmett. And of course, not Jasper. And lastly, we have Rosalie. Awesome. So now I've got all of my contacts that I have in my spreadsheet now. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this. I have, Excel on my computer, so that's why I'm able to save it like this. I'll also copy this and do it in a Google spreadsheet to show you the same way on how to download this as well. So we're going to save as to my computer. Oh, let's do desktop. It's being a little slow. There we go. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and then I can always change this name, you know, Twilight Contacts. And then you're always going to want to make sure it's in that CSV, comma, delimited format. And save. I'm going to say yes. Hopefully it does not do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. And show you how to do this through Google. Let's go here. And we'll go to, so we'll go to sheets.google.com. And then this is going to bring up all the sheets that I have, but we're going to do a blank sheet. So it's starting a new spreadsheet. And so from here, I'm going to paste. And as you see, it's already pasted. Got everything in there. And from here, you can do File, Download, and they have the CSV for you to download. So that's a workaround if you don't have Excel, so that you can still use this spreadsheet on, and you can still use this spreadsheet to upload your command contacts. So now we're going to take this contacts, we're going to drag and drop, and it looks like it is in there, and we're going to import our contacts. And so this actually will take, this can take a while. This could take a couple minutes. So how you'll know they have all been uploaded is you'll get a little red dot on this bell, or you can, or if you do have the Kelly app downloaded to your phone, you'll get notifications on the Kelly app as well. So we'll just kind of wait a minute and see when that pops up. You can also keep refreshing, that can help as well. But does anybody have any questions so far on the import, any of the how to apply anything? No? All right, so we'll just wait for that bell to pop up. Oh, a minute ago, you should see your contacts. So it looks like it has been uploaded successfully, so I'm going to dismiss this, and then I am just going to refresh this page. All right, so as we see, we've got Alice Cullen, Bella Swan, now we see Edward, Emmett. So it looks like all of my contacts were uploaded. One thing that I did forget to do was I wanted to tag them all as Brevity leads, because I want to make sure that I know that they all came from Brevity. So one way that I can do that is clicking. I mean, obviously I don't have a lot of contacts in here, so this would be less of a task for me. But if you forgot to do that to your contacts, I'll show you another way that we can do that as well. So we'll go through, we'll click Edward, Emmett, and Esme, even though Esme is connected. And then we will do, now I'm a little confused. Okay, hold on. Filters, and then, no, that's not right.
You're trying to bulk tag, Sierra?
Yes.
So, and where you see that button where it says lead pool, if you go over from that just a little bit, there's that bulk action drop down. It's like gray. So go to the right. in that same bar
Oh.
action. There you go.
Duh. Thank you, Brittany. So yes, add bulk tags, and then I've selected everyone, and then now I can do my brevity tag. Thank you so much, Brittany. And then we can submit, and now as you can see, that brevity tag is going to be, should be on all of those. It may take a little bit for them all to pop up. And so I just like to continue to refresh, and as you can see now they all have that brevity tag. Another thing, let's say that you have a database of 100 people and you want to, you messed up, you didn't tag it right. You can either go through and click like that, or another way that I think is pretty cool is if you, let's say, Bill and Harry, I just want to get rid of them, so we're going to bulk action, and we're going to archive them, and then we'll press archive. And then I'll show you, once we go into the settings, how to delete them so that you can re-upload your whole database and make sure that it is correctly tagged that next time, so that you don't have to go through and do all of that. So now that we've gotten our leads in here, I'm going to take you to the settings to kind of go over what we can do in the settings. So we're going to go to settings. And before we move on to settings, if this is not the way that you want to upload your contacts, there's also PySync in here that you're also able to sync contacts. So I have never done it, but that is also another option that you are able to connect your contacts with command. So now we're going to go to command settings, and we're going to go to contacts. So we've got our contact archive, and as you can see, I have 3 contacts in here. One thing that you can do is restore these contacts or trash them. So let's say that I forgot to tag Harry, Maya, and Bill in a certain way, and I want to go back to my spreadsheet and add it in that way. You would need to make sure that you delete them from the archive, because of what command sees is that you basically are trying to upload the same contact twice, because they still are, even though they're not on your contact list, they still are on the contact archive. So you're going to want to make sure we'll choose Maya, and we'll delete her. And now she's gone from my database completely. But one thing that you want to make sure is that, if you want to get rid of a contact, make sure that you do, you never want to get rid of a lead if you don't need to. And so it's nice that, command does have it so that they do go to the contact archive. So just in case you didn't mean to delete someone, this is where you would find them. Also, you can do a database swipe. So you can archive all of your contacts and just say, like, I want to start over. I don't want any of these contacts right now. Like, it's just too much. None of them are going into leads, or however you may see it. You can archive all of your contacts. And then once you archive all of them, you can delete all archived contacts, or if you just have some that are in your archive, you can delete. Contact tags. So you can create a tag here. You can search for tags. Obviously, there's the ones created by the system, and then there's the brevity tag, the ones that I've actually created. And I've obviously only created one, so this is mostly all that have been created by the system. Next, we have lead sources. So you can kind of see, you can create custom lead sources if you're interested in that. And that I created, or I didn't create brevity, but I didn't create brevity, but that's obviously one in there. And as you can see, there are 87 sources in here, and you can also create a custom source. And you can look in all categories: prospecting, marketing, events, relationship, miscellaneous. And then lastly, we have our custom fields. So if you wanted a field, basically that's like favorite sports team, their hometown, you can do that. And then there's a way that you can customize that field. So basically like the field like tags, first name, last name, that's what a field is. So we're going to do favorite sports teams because we all know I'm a Seahawk fan. And you can choose how you want to see it. So you could do a drop down box, and maybe if you were only doing your Seattle area, you could do a drop down of either Seahawks or Mariners. But since, you know, my database is big and Edward is from Forks and Bella is from Arizona, they may have different fields, or they may have different teams. So I'm going to do a text field. And then you can obviously make default custom field. You cannot, but we'll click that and create. So now I have that field there and I've created that. All right, so that is going to be your contacts, the settings, things that you can do in settings for contacts. Do you guys have any questions on the setting, like the settings part of contacts? No. All right, we'll just keep going. So we're going to go back to our contacts now. And we're going to go into Carlisle. So now we've got, you know, all of our contacts. And then also another thing that's really cool is you can filter what you want to see. So let's say I have, you know, hundreds and hundreds of contacts. I only want to see the contacts that have the brevity tag. So I am going to apply that. And now only the contacts that have that brevity tag are going to show up. So that's really cool. You can, let's say you have a tag that is open house. So you can go back and just contact everyone who went to an open house. Maybe you make a tag that is specific for certain open houses, so that you just have that list there of your contacts that you're going to go and reach out to during that time. But today we're going to focus and go into Carlisle, because he was my lead. He's the one who's actually looking for a place to go and you know, look around. He's looking to buy. So as you can see, I've got some good information in on him because his health score is 68%, and as we were talking earlier, we want to make sure that our health score is at least 50%. We try to. You might not get everyone's information, but you do want to try to get as much as you can. So he is going to be in the Fairmont Park neighborhood, which is where the West Seattle office is. I didn't realize that that's what our area is called, but that's where we are. And so I'm going to add some neighborhoods around, and as you can see, there's some suggested neighborhoods. And so I'm going to choose the Alaska Junction because I know that's right up the street, and the West Seattle Junction. Those are both not far, so I want to add those in. But, and so now that I've added them in, I'm going to go and preview his neighborhood snapshot. So we are in the Fairmont Park, and these are going to be all of the homes on market in the Fairmont Park area. So that's really cool. This is right around the office, and so I can kind of see what's going on in my neighborhood, so that if Carlisle is looking to sell and not buy, he can kind of see the comps that are around his neighborhood. All right. And then obviously we've got the West Seattle Junction. Pretty. And the Alaska Junction. Awesome. So next we're going to, this is the preview, so I can't change anything here, but if this was Carlisle, so we'll go back and we'll copy the link and I will open a new tab. Now if I was to go in and I was Carlisle, I'd actually be able to add a neighborhood. So let's say he wants to actually look also in Beacon Hill. thing. Oh, Paul. Not liking me today. And there's obviously so many Beacon Hill neighborhoods. So maybe we add in Washington, North Beacon Hill. So it kind of came up, you know, more. So we'll choose this North Beacon Hill. We'll confirm. So now that neighborhood has been added. Another way to help them add a neighborhood is they can draw if they don't quite know what the neighborhood is called. Oh, cancel. Sorry. So I don't know how I just did that, but you can, so let's find where you want to do. So I know I want to live in this area. I don't know the what the neighborhood is called. You can actually draw and then it'll tell me what is available in that area that I just drew around. So as you can see, there's some houses and some units as well. Next thing we're going to do is scroll up, and then we're going to go to, thank you, neighborhood stats. So you can also see neighborhood stats and go a little bit more into detail on what you're sending your client in this neighborhood snap. So it's also North Beacon. So right now we're looking at North Beacon. There's 6 homes for sale, 18 are pending, average price, home price. You can also explore the neighborhood and then transit and commute. So this, what's really cool about this is if I'm looking in the North Beacon area, so search for a place, I'm going to choose, I don't know any addresses in North Beacon. So Kara, do you mind giving me the North Seattle address?
Sure. 10700 Meridian.
Look at that.
Yep.
So now we're seeing from this North Beacon Hill, if that's where I'm looking to move, and the North Seattle office is where I work, I can see that this is a 15-minute drive. It's an hour and 8 minutes to bike, and then 3 hours and 30 minutes to drive. And so that's one thing that you can see that's really cool is that if you are interested in, you know, or you know that your clients are interested in going, you know, moving here, they can kind of see where, like, oh, maybe this isn't the best area for me to move in because of I am not going to be driving that far. I don't want to drive that far. And so another cool thing that shows you is what public schools are nearby, also what private schools. And then what's really cool is Yelp is a part of this. So it shows you all of the cool restaurants. You can just choose restaurants, grocery stores, nightlife. So it's really, really cool all that you can do inside this neighborhood snapshot. And then of course you can see all of the homes for sale one by one if you want to look at it this way. And then of course what's really cool is this is branded to yourself. So if they are interested in anything, and it's going to reach straight out to you. So that's the really cool part about this. All right. Any questions on adding a neighborhood or the neighborhood snapshot page that has to do with a certain contact? Got a quiet group today. All right, so we're going to go back to contacts now. So now I've got this and I'm able to send this out to Dr. Carlisle Cullen. You can see kind of the timeline of everything that I've done. So today I've had him subscribe to certain neighborhoods. I changed his source, changed from Brivity to Brivity. And then we can go, if I did have an opportunity connected to this contact, which if you have not done any of the command compliance classes, you'll know that you have to have a contact to start a transaction. So that will always show up in this if you do have a transaction going with your with that client. If you do have any smart plans, we can also add a smart plan in. We also have, you can also add a smart plan in from here, or you can go to smart plans. You can also create a task, have notes. If you do search for anything, you can create saved searches so that you know that this is what they're interested in. This contact, that's what they're interested in. So yeah, that is mostly what I have for you today on uploading contacts and importing them. Also creating that neighborhood snapshot for each of your leads. Is there any questions? I feel like it's kind of a shorter class today, which not the best. I like to try and take it out to an hour, but contacts is so easy that you can, just really upload. It's just really taking the time, copying and pasting or entering in your database. If you're not interested in doing that legwork, you can always try PySync. I'm not super familiar with that, but I'm sure Command can help walk you through that by going through your settings. And then also don't forget, you can change the way that you customize your columns. So if you wanted to not see last visited, you want to see your tags instead, you can change that also and apply. So now I see tags right here and then last contacted instead of seeing tags over there. Smart view all contacts. You can create a smart view, which is basically, let's go in, just having one set of for certain leads. So we'll create this as a Twilight smart view, save smart view. And so this is now my Twilight smart view. You can they also have Kelly campaigns. Obviously, none of these are going to have this Kelly campaign because I have not done any of that. But you can also manage your smart views. So I can go in and edit it. I don't want to call it that anymore. Can keep that. Can click on it. That could be my new default. That right now I'm only focused on, maybe Q2, I'm only focused on my Twilight contacts. I'm not focused on any of my other contacts. You can, I can just have that. So when I go into contacts, that's all that I'm seeing. Then we'll press apply new default. And you can always search for contacts up here, and you can search by, only first name, only last name, only email. So there's a lot of different things that you can go in here and do. You can also export all of your contacts if you're like, I just want to get them all out and restart. And then obviously you can export mailing labels as well, but obviously you have to have clicked that button that says same as mailing address or added so that the mailing labels will come, will be exported. But yeah, that's kind of all going over contacts. It's not really much more to it. Anything else that I can help with today or go over that would be of value to any of our Tech Thursday attendees today? Yes, Dane, it will only include the ones that have addresses and the ones that you have clicked. So when you go into add a contact, you're going to want to make sure that you, in that additional contact information, that you click the same as mailing address. That's the only way that even if you have their address in here and you don't click this button, then you're not going to get their address is not going to come up. But they have to, or it's not going to be exported. So you have to click this same as mailing address for that to be exported. Yeah. So luckily today, on this great Thursday, I know the sun's shining in some places, you guys get 20 minutes back of your day. And so now you're able to go and start uploading your contacts, download them from your phone, download them from Facebook, just make sure, and then one really cool thing you can also do is if you don't have, I don't have Bella's phone number, maybe I reach out to her through email and start getting that information from those contacts that I don't have, phone numbers or emails for, so that, their database health goes up, and then I'm able to reach out to them in multiple ways and touch them in multiple ways, and not like that. So I know that the link needs to have, I'm kind of looking at the chat. The tech, the third, and channel, they all need to be capitalized. So the T on tech, the T on Thursday, and the C on channel, they all need to be capitalized when you do that. I know that might be an issue why it's not working for you, Jenna. So yeah, this also will be added to our Tech Thursday channel on YouTube. So if you want to go back and watch, or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of your ASCs at any of the offices. You can reach out to me, Kara, Brittany, Robin, anybody who is on this call as well, Lilia. We're all here to help you guys and be of service on how we can help manage your database and things like that. So just let me know if there's anything I can do. And I enjoy teaching you all about how to import your contacts, and hope to see you guys at our next Tech Thursday beginning in March. I can't believe it's already March. All right. Well, everyone have an amazing day. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Sierra.